Hey guys, I am out and about right now, and I actually wanted to take a minute to talk to you about a topic that's been on my mind lately. It's actually been on my mind for months and months, and I had not fully decided or figured out how I wanted to share it with everybody. But you know what? The longer I debate, the longer it's just going to take me to do exactly that. I do think I had to wait, though, to get past the emotions of it. So, all of that being said, what do I want to talk about today? Today's topic is allergies and church. This is a really sensitive subject. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But it is. Part of the reason it is a really sensitive subject is because, for one, there's a lack of understanding. But this is actually something that challenges a lot of people in the church setting. And I say all of this very, I'm trying to tread lightly on this. I do not want to step on any toes. I am not directing anything towards anybody. I am going to speak on our experiences in several churches, not just one or two. And if this is a help to you, let me know down in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up. But feel free to share this. Share this with your pastors, your board of elders, within your church or the church nursery stuff. I really don't care, but share it with the people who could use this information, because you never know whose lives this could touch. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can. I make no promises, but I'm going to try. Church and allergies. Those are two things that are kind of serious. Most people don't even realize that. Food allergies. Now, a lot of people, okay, you go ahead and think about this now. When you hear food allergies, what do you think of? Think of somebody who can't eat something, okay? What if I told you that it's not just about eating things? That's actually where food allergies come into play in church, more so than just telling somebody not to eat something. In fact, if I had a dime every time somebody said something along the lines of, well, just don't eat it, well, I'd be making money. Anyhow, if you don't already know this, I guess I should really give an introduction. Of our 7 children, 2 of them have severe food allergies. Now, we do have another one that has a mild pineapple allergy. That is literally the just don't eat it kind of allergy. The other 2 are not that lucky. Our 6-year-old and our 4-year-old have a severe life-threatening peanut allergy each. The 4-year-old is also severely allergic to eggs. Now, the egg allergy, I'm going to go ahead and say this as well. That allergy is an ingestion allergy. As long as she doesn't eat it, she is okay. But eggs are also something that is not usually a cross-contamination issue. If I'm making something with eggs in it, I'm obviously washing my hands in between for bacteria reasons, not because I want to wash off the residue. So eggs just don't carry that same risk as peanuts do. Peanuts, peanut oil, peanut butter, anything peanut-based is so widespread, you don't even realize how much until you start looking into the labels and talking to somebody who deals with this, if you don't already personally. It can get so involved, it seems overwhelming at times. So our children, their allergy is not just ingestion, it is also contact. That means you eat a peanut butter sandwich. Apparently I feel like pantomiming things today too. And you get a little bit of peanut butter residue on your hands. Okay, wipe it off. Well, did you just clean your hands? No, you did not. You wiped it off. You've still got that oil or the residue from it on your hands. Now you go and you turn on a light, open a doorknob. You've now left that residue on every surface you just touched. One of my 2 children come along and touch that exact same surface, they're going to have an anaphylactic reaction. That is how easily it happens. We have had a similar scenario where it was such a minor amount, and that's what caused a reaction. So this is not just a guess, guys. This is something that we have lived. With that, there are a handful of environments where we do feel like our children are entitled to be safe. And I want you to hear me out on this, because there's some people who hear the word entitled and immediately switch the listening off and go into a different mode. But our children's lives and so many others, I mean, there are kids around us every day, and you don't even realize it, that deal with these same types of allergies. Whether it's to the same thing or not, doesn't matter. There are so many allergies around us every day now. So any of these children, people, there are adults. I need to quit saying children. People with severe food allergies need to know that there are specific places that they can go and not have to worry the entire time they're there about whether or not their life is at risk. I'm pretty sure you would appreciate the same thing. You would like to be in your own home and not know or not have to worry that your life is in danger. You would like to be able to go to school and not worry that your life is going to be in danger there. Now that can go on a whole other level, as people know, as far as mass shootings and whatnot. But that is not what I'm talking about today, because I'm not even going to tell you what my stance is on that. Aside from home and school, your work environment should be safe. That one gets a little bit trickier depending where you work though. But the other one that should guaranteed be safe is church. Anybody who wants to attend church should be able to safely do so without worry that their life may be at risk just by walking in those doors. I want you to think on that statement for a moment. Now, I want you to think whether or not you attend a church that serves food. When you serve that food, what do you do with it? You're probably going to touch it. Do you go to the bathroom and wash your hands after you touch that food? Do crumbs ever get spilled? Do children in the church also participate in eating that food and then go on to the nursery or the kids center or wherever your church does things and touch objects in there without washing their hands? Now let's go back to that statement I made before about contact. Do you see why this becomes an issue? We have had to leave more than one church in the past because of severe allergies. And actually, each church that we have left, when we started, food was not an issue. Now, the very first church, we didn't even have any children with allergies at that point. Our now 6-year-old joined our family while we were attending there. So when we started there, though, food was not a thing. We did do a lot of meals there, but as far as service goes, nothing was served. There was coffee, there was water. I think occasionally there was some sort of juice maybe, but that was it. And then there was a changeover within the church, and then food started being served. And now, on a whole separate issue, I was also helping to clean the church at that point in time. And there were no guidelines about where people could or could not eat anymore. It just kind of became a free-for-all, and I cannot tell you how many ant problems that church had. That's another story. Anyhow, it did become a serious issue, because by that point then, our son was going into the nursery and whatnot, and he had a couple of different allergic reactions by touching toys in the nursery. That's an issue. Fast forward, we switched churches to a different church that ran a daycare out of the church, and they were more aware. They helped us to protect the kids. They made sure that they did not come into contact. There were things within the church from time to time, but they never served food. Because guys, let's be honest here too. I know everybody enjoys little treats and stuff with their coffee, donuts, cookies, all that fun stuff. But you go to church to feed your soul, not your face. And I know that sounds harsh, but I've kind of had to get that way over the years. So, looking at things that way, we then really appreciated the next church because we didn't have that same worry. Yes, they fed kids snack. Yes, I had to give a pep talk every day to both our son and the staff to remind them of allergies, but that's also life of an allergy parent. Okay, so fast forward, we moved across the state. We have attended a couple of churches out here as well now, and the exact same situation repeated itself where food was not an issue when we started there. Not at all. There was no food served. They did not do regular meals. It just was not really an issue. In fact, they were amazing when we started, because the children's director put up signs immediately in the children's area that said no peanuts, like no exceptions, no peanuts. Peanut products, all that falls under it, guys, just being honest here. So it was really disheartening when there was not a changeover in the church, and not what happened at the church previously, but food started being introduced. There were some remodels that happened, and somehow that introduced the idea of having a snack bar. And now I'm going to say this too. There's a lot of amazing people who really do try to help with these things, but all it takes is 1 or 2 bad apples. And it takes 1 or 2 people in key positions to not understand the severity, and that every child should have a right to safely attend church, to make it not worth it. So when I've got people telling us on a regular basis, well, you're going to deal with this everywhere you go. Now, I'm not going to say that was just that church. We hear this constantly. Guys, that's the worst thing you can say to somebody who deals with food allergies. No, duh. Of course we're going to deal with this everywhere we go. You're not giving me any new news. This is our life. Every time we leave our house, I have to worry about where we're going, what they may come into contact with. Is their EpiPen in their bag still good? Do I have the Benadryl with? I have to worry about all of that every single time we step a foot out our door. And I have been asked, well, do you ever take your kids shopping? I mean, what do you do then? Well, first of all, yes, we do take our kids shopping, but not very often. Not our allergy kids, because it's not worth the risk. Now, there are times we go places where, Target, it's one of my favorite stores, and that's no secret if you've seen my other videos. Anyhow, yeah, we have to worry. If we go near the food aisles, I have to make sure that they do not touch anything. There have been times where we will go down a candy aisle for something, and either one of us stands at the end of the aisle with the little kids while the other one goes down and gets what they need, or we line them up in the very center of the aisle, strict orders not to touch anything, and we get in and out as fast as we can, because that contamination can exist on the outside of packaging as well. You know how many times you've opened a thing of candy and one of the pieces in there wasn't sealed properly or something? That's all it takes. So let's get back onto topic here about churches and allergies. If somebody approaches your church, approaches you, leaders, someone within the church, and says, we are dealing with this allergy, what can we do? I want you to really stop and think about things and pray. I mean, you're a church, you should be praying anyhow. But you shouldn't have to think too hard about making the steps necessary to keep anyone in your church safe. They're not asking you to rearrange service for anybody. They're just simply asking you to not have those allergens there so that they can safely attend. I am sure any one of you would be very appreciative if there was something that came about that would be life-threatening to you, and your church had the ability to say, you know what, that's not happening here today. We are going to protect you. I think we all have that right. We're all entitled to be safe at church as much as we ever can be in life. So think on this, pray on this, share this with others within your church, within your leadership, whatever. I am always open to answering questions, to discussing this topic, sharing my experience, as well as my knowledge about it, because again, this is our life. So don't hesitate to leave any questions you have down below. If you have questions about how do you implement some of this stuff? How do you enforce some of this stuff? Actually, I should touch on that really quick too, because that was one concern at one of the churches, was how do we enforce this without offending anybody else? Okay, think about that statement. Are we really worried about offending somebody before we're worried about saving somebody's life? Is that where we're at? Okay. I also know that, yes, you need to approach things kindly. You're not going to go rip somebody's head off because they brought something in. You never should do that. always approach with kindness. Always approach with grace, because you don't know if they knew ahead of time that they shouldn't be having that there. So a gentle conversation is all it takes. I have had to do that. I have had to approach other families and say, hey guys, I'm really sorry. My children have severe food allergies. That's kind of actually why there's signs up that say no peanuts. And I know that you guys just spilt a bunch of peanut stuff. Can you help me get it all cleaned up? And would you actually mind making sure that your kids' hands are washed before they go down to the kids' rooms? Because that contamination could actually kill my kids. Okay? That's what it takes. And you know how many people will go, oh my gosh, I had no idea, and I'm so sorry, and immediately help? That's all you have to do. Something else comes in to the church, and okay, one situation was a youth group, and it was a gift exchange. Something came in that had, I think it was Reese's peanut butter cups in it. Rather than offending the kids or the family, it was left. Okay. The better way to handle that would actually be to either just give the kids a heads up and say, hey guys, this stuff actually we can't have it here because of allergies. So we're going to go ahead and pull it out for now. And we're going to put it in this little Ziploc bag so it's sealed off, and we'll send it with whoever gets your gift. It's easy enough. And believe it or not, kids are pretty open to that. Kids actually need to understand and know this as well, and they need to know why they can't have the peanuts. Don't just tell them no. Tell people why this is the case. In fact, that's something else I really encourage church leadership to understand and take on as well, is don't just tell your congregation, no more peanuts, no more eggs, no more nut products. No. Tell them why. Let them know that there is a body in that church that could use prayer, that can use everybody's protection. There is nothing wrong with praying for somebody for allergies. Don't expect it to magically end. And I'm sure I just offended somebody by saying magically end, but it's when you are part of a church, you're part of a family, and a family watches out for each other. So there is nothing wrong in asking the rest of the family to help protect somebody within it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop my rant there. I've said it already, but I'm going to go ahead and say it again. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please do not hesitate to leave it down below. Make sure you share this video. Share it with anybody and everybody who could be impacted by this, who this could help. Which is why I've tried to keep it short. I was shooting for under 15 minutes, and now at this point we're just going to keep it under the 20 mark. And make sure to also hit that notification bell. We are a large family living with allergies. It is not the main focus of our life, but it does direct our life in a lot of things that we do, and I do spend a lot of time talking and sharing about that. So if this is a topic of interest to you, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you see what else is coming up. But mostly, this video should somewhat stand alone as far as being shared for knowledge purposes, anything else. If you've got anything else on this topic you would like for me to discuss, please let me know down below, and I will see what I can do. I hope you guys are having a blessed day, and I will see you in the next video.